Hi, my name is Adam. I'm originally from Pinetown in Durban. I've been staying here at Kwasiza Bantu Mission since June of 2012. And just to give a little bit of the background of how it is I came to be here. In 2007, I was living overseas in the UK. I'd gone over there thinking that if I went to another country, I could leave all of the problems I had in my life behind me and try to escape, get a new start. But after arriving in another country, I just started doing the same things I had been doing up until then. So it didn't take long for me to go back to using drugs while I was in the UK. And in the end, I was forced to resign from the job I had. I couldn't pay rent for the place I was staying in, and I ended up moving in with a drug dealer and working for him. And it was at that time that I got involved in quite a bit of crime. And in the end, I was arrested for robbing people in the streets for money to buy drugs, and I was sentenced to 3 years in prison. I served 2 years in prison in the UK, and after that I was deported. So prison couldn't help me, because even inside prison I continued with the wrong things I had been doing. And after arriving back in South Africa after being deported, it took me less than 5 days to go back to using drugs. I tried going to rehabs. I spent a year in a rehab, and after leaving there, went back to using heroin within 2 hours. And when the money ran out and there were no other places that would accept me, my parents could no longer keep me in their home. My father took a restraining order against me. My mother moved away. She didn't want me to know where she stayed. And I ended up living on the streets of Durban, in the shelters, stealing and begging for money. So it was around about that time that I had considered committing suicide. I was injecting heroin at that time. And it was then that I heard of Kwasiza Bantu Mission. And I came up here originally in 2012 thinking I would spend a couple of weeks here and find where I would go from there. So I started attending the services, and I realized that there was a need for me to make my life right with God. So I started speaking with the counselors, and I was given an opportunity to sit down, bring out into the open all of the wrong things I had done, receive prayer, and make my life right with God. And through that, I was set free from the hold that drugs had on my life. And the mission assisted me at that time at their expense to travel and go and meet with my parents so that I could apologize to them for all the wrong I had done to them since I had been a teenager. They also helped me to travel around in Durban to various places where I'd stolen or done other wrong things and apologize to those people. I was given an opportunity to start working on the mission, and the first step I took was to use that money to go and pay back all of those people who I owed money to, including my parents. And I was also helped to contact the police overseas in the UK and confess to all of the crimes I had committed, which they were not aware of. So they came back to say that they find no trace of any of those things and I should just continue with my life. And I continue to help here on the mission and in various capacities. Today, work at Hkwela Water Factory. I've also been given an opportunity to study. So by God's grace, in the middle of November, I'll be completing a law degree. It's actually the second qualification I've done since I came to be here on the mission. And my relationships with my family are fully restored. I actually live together with my father now here on the mission. I do believe that if it hadn't been for the fact that the mission was open to me coming to receive help here, that I would have most likely been dead today. I do not think that's an exaggeration. There was nowhere else left for me to go, and they welcomed me with open arms and were willing to help me free of charge, and for that I'm thankful.